What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is how America makes Britain look like a tiny village.
I mean, I feel like we know America is a lot bigger than Britain.
Yeah,
that's obvious.
We've been doing a lot of reactions, haven't we?
Yeah.
In our time.
But it'll be kind of interesting to see how small Britain is compared.
Definitely.
Obviously, like, come on, we know.
We know
it's big.
We've been doing these reactions for a long time. You guys know, we know it's huge. It was a massive shock at the time. But again, these videos, while we have done different ones, which has compared size at the time, it just puts it into perspective again. You kind of start losing that perspective. It puts it in, and it's a fresh voice telling you different things as well. Each video adds something, kind of like the differences. A new video always adds a few different points which you've never heard before. Smash that like button if you enjoy this kind of content, guys. Smash that subscribe button as well. The absolute legend lost in the pond, which we may have a video potentially coming out of him.
On the grapevine, maybe out.
We will see.
Soon?
But soon is why we mention it. Maybe you have to wait and see. But that's only if you guys hit 4,000 likes.
Yeah, 4,000 likes.
And we'll think about it.
And in the next,
we'll think about it.
14 days.
14 days, okay. Time
you
frame.
may have a lost in the pond video.
Potentially. I think that's a safe time frame.
That's safe.
Smash that like button, guys. Smash that subscribe button. And are you ready? Why are we a tiny village? If Britain's a tiny village, what's Jersey? Not even a house. It's not even a house.
It's not.
And at 874 square miles is larger than not just London, but half of the English counties.
That's got to be a state, hasn't it?
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to size. They say that size doesn't matter, but have they looked at a map recently?
You'd like to hope sometimes in life.
Because it does matter when you move from Britain to the United States of America. You see, somebody once said that the biggest difference between Britain and America is that Americans think that 100 years is a long time and that the British think that 100 miles is a long way.
It is.
And I definitely used to think
it is
like
a long
this.
way.
For instance, I used to think that travelling from my hometown of Grimsby to the city of Manchester was a long way, even though it was only 100 miles.
I mean, when we go back to the UK, we normally get Manchester Airport, don't we?
Yeah.
And we're going to normally somewhere around here. Oh, around here, about here. So probably half that journey. That feels like a long journey, doesn't it?
Oh my god. Don't even get me started on Portsmouth up to Yorkshire.
Yeah, all the way down there. But and to be fair, even when we do the trip from here, we've done it a couple of times for a day trip. You rarely do it, but we've been to Grimsby a few times. It's a long trip for us. It's a long trip. Leave us alone.
But after moving to the United States, where long-distance commutes and cross-country road trips are not that unusual, I soon realised that Americans viewed 100 miles as no biggie. And as somebody who now fairly frequently does the commute from Chicago to Indianapolis, I have fallen in line with my American comrades. But just in case you don't believe me, or in case you're one of those British people that I often hear about, that comes to the United States and expects to see New York City, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and the Grand Canyon all in one weekend, then allow me to present to you some maps. Some maps that highlight the scale of the United States in all its glory.
We're not going to pause too much, but I just want to say, if you guys are part of the channel, our original videos, that's what you thought, wasn't it? Which is fair enough. We didn't know. I
still want to hope that I can do that in a week.
We know we can't, though. We know we can't.
If I have a private jet.
Yeah, but you wouldn't spend much time there.
Nothing's impossible.
Let's take a look. Firstly, let's take a look at the United States as a whole. If we include land and water, which we will be doing throughout this video, the United States has a total area of about 3.8 million square miles.
Sounds a lot.
In that respect, it could contain 40, not just Britain's, but UK's.
Wow.
And for clarification, the UK is Britain plus Northern Ireland. The biggest country within the United Kingdom is my home country of England. And you've almost certainly heard that the United States has an entire region named after it. Let's have a look at how they compare. As the United States goes, New England is a relatively small area of land comprising 6 states: Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And despite the fact that 5 of those states feature in a list of the 7 smallest, the New England states combined are almost 22,000 square miles bigger than England. In fact, you could throw in Wales and Northern Ireland and New England would still come out on top. But even when you...
That seems like such a small part as well.
Yeah, they're not big, those states.
They don't seem that big. But it's because you look at it on the greatest scale, you think, oh, that's tiny. It's big. I didn't think that was like bigger than England, to be fair. I thought I was going to
England's
say.
tiny now.
I thought I was going to say half of it.
England's tiny.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't moan about our drives.
Nah,
we'll still moan. We're Brits, aren't we?
Well, in Jersey we can still moan when we go to England because that's like from England to the UK. Yes,
oh yeah, Jersey's tiny.
Yes.
You add in Scotland, there are certain other states that are bigger than the entire United Kingdom.
California isn't it?
Now,
Texas
long ago,
is.
I made a video on the 11 states
Obviously.
that are larger than the UK. But this video was mostly crap, and the chief complaint about it was that I didn't show any maps, so you just had to imagine it. Well, to show that I've grown as a YouTuber, and to visually put these 11 states into a UK context, I've put together a graphic. Have you ever seen those videos that compare the size of the Earth to the size of the Sun? And then the Sun to the next biggest star, and the next biggest star to the next biggest star, and so on? Well, I thought it would be fun to do the same thing with the UK, and its 11 American overlords. So here are 11 US states with a total area, that's land and water, that's larger than the UK.
I didn't know it was 11. Michigan. Wyoming, yep. Oh, a little fact about Wyoming. I know it's not part of the video. Least populated state in America.
It is.
But it is quite large.
Most of it is grass, isn't it? Like, not grass. But like, it's... no, not grass, but
grass.
What's it called?
It's just...
Nature.
Yeah, natural, like, it's just landscape and stuff like that, Grass. Oregon, okay. Colorado, okay. Nevada. Arizona, yeah. Alaska's definitely top, isn't it?
Yeah, New Mexico.
Montana. I want to guess Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Yeah, Texas is big. I mean, Alaska?
Barbecue.
Yeah, I bet Alaska.
Huge.
I thought there was another one for a second, but I was like, what? Yeah, it's just, that's different gravy, isn't it? That is different gravy.
Now, if this were a game of top trumps, the United States would be winning by a country mile. Sorry. So before we continue, I am going to throw in a fun fact that allows the UK a moment of glory. The most number of US states that you could collectively fit into the entire UK is 10. Now, admittedly, it is the smallest 10, and those are West Virginia, Maryland, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Hawaii, Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island.
You got to take your wins. You got to take
it.
But one thing that you might notice about all of those, with the exception of Hawaii, is that they are east of the Mississippi River. But once you go west, things become so big that your eyes fall off. And something that really seems to get bigger out west are counties. You may remember last year I did a video on the differences between British and American counties, and one of those differences was size. For context, I want you to keep in mind that the largest county in the UK is North Yorkshire. This clocks in at roughly 3,341 square miles. So it is itself more than half the size of Northern Ireland. Well, at this point in the video, it won't surprise you to hear that the United States has well over 100 counties larger than that, and the vast majority of them are out west.
The west is just huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if we allow for county equivalents like boroughs and census areas, Alaska has 2 county equivalents that are not just larger than North Yorkshire, but the entire United Kingdom.
Wow.
Alaska, you are massive and you need to be stopped.
Yeah, I feel like Alaska should just be off his list.
Well, yeah, Alaska's its own country.
It just doesn't count. Not fair.
And you might say, well, Alaska's almost too massive, so this is just cheating. And it is true, Alaska is like the Galactus of American states. We should start calling it Galaska. But even if you drop down into the lower 48 contiguous states, there are some counties that are so big that they make certain countries look like quaint villages. Take, for example, the largest in the lower 48, San Bernardino County in California. At over 20,000 square miles, it's approximately 4 times the size of Northern Ireland and more than twice the size of Wales.
Wow.
And it's not alone. San Bernardino County is one of 10 counties with a square mile area of 5 digits. Now, in both Britain and America, within your average county, you'll probably find a city or two, and it'll be of no surprise to you whatsoever that America's largest cities are larger than the UK's largest cities.
You guys are just bigger. You're just bigger.
In the UK, the largest city by total area is comfortably London. In fact, at 671 square miles, it is the third largest in Europe.
Okay.
Now, it's important to remember that that's before we take into account the wider metropolitan area. And indeed, before we do that, there are several cities in the United States that are considerably larger than 671 square miles. Surprisingly, none of these go by the name of New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles.
Okay.
But this changes somewhat when we do account for each city's metropolitan area. But again, before we do that, I've said do twice. The largest 4 places in America that you could reasonably define as a city are all located in Alaska. Anchorage, Juneau, Wrangell, and Sitka all measure well into the thousands of square miles.
Wow. Alaska.
Now again, it's super
It needs to catch on, Alaska, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Make it catch on.
Everything is huge. So instead, let's take a look at the opposite end of the country down in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida is surprisingly massive, owing partly to the fact that it consolidated with Duval County in 1968. Nonetheless, when you add up its water and land area, Jacksonville is the largest city in the lower 48.
Okay.
The 874 square miles is larger than not just London, but half of the English counties. Now, if you take into account the metropolitan areas of both Jacksonville and London, Jacksonville marginally comes out on top. And that's despite the fact, yes, I changed my shirt, and that's despite the fact that Jacksonville is significantly down the pecking order when it comes to America's largest metropolitan areas. In terms of square mileage, there are dozens across the country that outmatch it, but none more so than the San Bernardino metropolitan area, otherwise known as the Inland Empire. The Riverside San Bernardino, Ontario metropolitan area covers more than 27,000 square miles, almost the total area.
Please let us know in the comments for whole metropolitan. I don't really understand that fully. I think it's like meant to be the surrounding areas, but where do you cap that, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Please let us know, because it's been mentioned on a few videos, and I just don't know how you actually, because it seems to make a massive difference. You know what I mean? Jacksonville, huge city, but when you take metro, it's nowhere near. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Let us know in the comments. It would be quite interesting, just because it's something which is always kind of be like, I think it's surrounding areas, but what actually determines that surrounding area? You know what I mean?
Of Scotland. That's it for this episode of Miles. Audio metropolitan area covers more than 27,000 square miles, almost the total area of Scotland. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below some of the experiences you've had in the United States that have really highlighted its enormity.
Let us know in the comments if you've been from the United States, you realise how big it actually is. If you've ever gone to England or somewhere, and it was just everything's on a smaller scale, maybe.
Definitely.
It'll be interesting, won't it?
Definitely,
if you notice it. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that subscribe button. And what should we do?
Have a fantastic day.
Check out Lost in My Pond, because potentially he may have a video in the next 14 days with us, potentially. So check him out.
Potentially. We may have already done it, so it may potentially.
Potentially. We'll see. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that subscribe button. And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.